Hello, good evening. Now we are going to discuss about pollination by insect or entomophily as well as orientophily, that is pollination by birds. So what is entomophily? When pollination is carried out with the help of insect, or when the pollination is carried out through the agency of insect, such pollination is called entomophily. And the flowers which shows such type of pollination, entomophily, phyllis type of pollination, such flowers with entomophilous, such flowers which shows pollination by insect, or such flowers which shows some adaptation, that is pollination by insect, nothing but entomophily. And the entomophilous flower, that is pollination carried out with the help of insect, or pollination takes place with the help of insect, is called entomophily, and such flowers are called entomophilous flower. And such entomophilous flower shows some peculiar characters or useful characters. The characters which are useful for entomophily, such characters are nothing but adaptations. So such flowers shows adaptations. The entomophilous flower shows adaptations. These adaptations in entomophilous flowers means the characters which are useful. The characters are favorable, peculiar characters, favorable characters which are useful in the entomophilous flower. The characters which are useful in the entomophilous type of pollination are called adaptations for entomophily. So adaptations in entomophilous flowers or entomophilous flower shows peculiar characters, and these are adaptations. So what are these adaptations or useful favorable characters which are useful in the process of entomophily? So pollination takes place through the agency of insects is called entomophily, and such entomophilous flower shows peculiar characters, and these peculiar characters are nothing but adaptations which favors the entomophily. And these adaptations are: number one, flowers are large, showy, conspicuous and brightly colored. Conspicuous means showy and brightly colored. Because of these characters, that is flowers are large, brightly colored, showy, so insects are easily attracted towards the flower. Another adaptation is flowers are fragrant and emit scent and have nectar glands. So such flowers produce specific scents, and because of this scent, I realize such flowers produce nectar through the nectar glands. So such flowers have nectar glands, and the nectar glands secrete nectar. So what is nectar? It is a sugary solution. It is a sugary secretion which is which is useful for insect as a food. So nectar is a food for insect. So because of this nectar and attractive colors and showy and scent, because of fragrance and scent, the insects are attracted towards the flower. One more adaptation for entomophily, that is the pollen grains are sticky or spiny and surrounded by yellow sticky substance called pollen kit. So pollen grains are spiny. That means the pollen grains are ball-like and their outer exine is spiny like this. Pollen grains are with spiny exine. Pollen grains no doubt are ball-like, but their exine is spiny. So due to such spiny nature, the pollen grains are easily carried. These sticky pollen grains, these spiny pollen grains are easily carried through the agency of insect from one flower to another. So pollen grains are sticky, spiny, and surrounded by a sticky substance called pollen kit. So pollen kit is such a substance which is just surrounding the yellowish substance which is surrounding the pollen grain. So due to such presence of pollen kit, the pollen grains are hydrophobic. Pollen grains become hydrophobic, that is waterproof. Hydrophobic means their pollen grains are waterproof. So as these pollen grains are carried from one flower to another, during this journey of pollen grains are easily stick to the body of insect due to such a yellowish sticky substance pollen kit. So pollen kit is useful for the transfer of pollen grain from one flower to another flower along with the insect. So their pollen grains are easily stick to the body of insect, and in this way these are carried from one flower to another. Another adaptations for entamophily, that is stigma is hairy. The stigmatic surface is hairy. This stigmatic surface is hairy as well as rough, and due to the sticky mucilaginous secretion, pollen grains are easily caught or easily catched by the sticky stigma. So pollen grains are easily stick to the surface of stigma due to the sticky substance or due to the mucilaginous secretion. So a mucilaginous secretion makes the stigma sticky, and pollen grains are easily stick to the stigmatic surface. So this is about stigma, that is useful for entamophily, phyllodes type of pollination. The next type of adaptation, that is when flowers are small. Sometimes generally flowers are large. Insect pollinating varieties, flowers are generally large, showy, attractive. But sometimes when flowers are small, they are grouped together in the form of inflorescence. And as they are grouped together, for example, in case of mustard, mohuri. So when flowers are these are smaller, when these flowers are small, even small, they are grouped together and they are borne on a special branch that is called inflorescence axis. When flowers are small, when these are grouped together and arranged in specific manner on the inflorescence axis, so it makes the such arrangement makes the flower attractive, and such flowers are easily such flowers easily attract insect for pollination. When flowers are small, that means their size is small. When flowers are small, they are grouped together and arranged on a specific branch, that is inflorescence axis. Next adaptations for entamophily, some flower additional structures are present. Like in passion flower, that is in Marathi it is called Krishna Kamal. In a passion flower, special structures are present, like corona. Apart from calyx and corolla, one more additional whorl is there, that is corona. It shows blue and white lines on the corona. Blue and white lines on the corona attract the insect. So it is an attractive structure whatever present on the passion flower. So such type of additional structure present in passion flower, it makes the flower attractive, and in this way the insects are easily attracted, and such flowers are then such flowers are easily pollinated by insect. So petaloid, in case of passion flower, there is a corona additional structure. While in bougainvillea, bougainvillea means in Marathi it is called kagdi pul. So in bougainvillea, the bract is large and flower is highly reduced. Flower is highly reduced, but this bract is large. So due to such a presence of petal-like bract, so petal-like bract is like this, and flower is highly reduced. Flower is highly reduced, but this petaloid bract in bougainvillea, this petaloid bract makes the flower attractive, and so insects are easily attracted towards the flower. So petaloid bract or corona, these are the attractive structures in some flowers which make the flowers attractive, and in this way the insects are attracted towards the flower. The next type of adaptation is that is in salvia, there is a lever mechanism. So that means this salvia flower is comparatively large, but because of such lever arrangement, cross pollination is easily takes place, and this lever mechanism helps in the cross pollination. So this is whole about the entamophilous type of pollination and adaptations for entamophily. Now we are going to discuss about orienthophily or adaptations in orienthophilous flower. So what is orienthophily? The pollination takes place with the help of birds, or pollination takes place through the agency of birds. Such pollination is called orienthophilous type of pollination. And such a flower, that is in which the pollination is carried out with the help of birds, such flowers is called orienthophilous flower. So the pollination when carried out with the help of birds or through the agency of bird, such pollination is called orienthophilous type of pollination or orienthophily. Such phenomena or such process of pollination when takes place through the agency of bird, it is known as orienthophily. And the flowers where the orienthophily occurs, such flowers are called orienthophilous flower. Now the orienthophilous flower shows some peculiar characters which favors the orienthophily. Such peculiar or useful characters which favors the orienthophily, such useful characters are called adaptations. So what are adaptations? That is the useful characters which favors the orienthophily. These useful characters which favors the orienthophily are: number one, the orienthophilous flowers are generally attractive, and such orienthophilous flowers are large, showy and brightly colored, and small birds with long beaks like sunbird and hummingbirds are involved. Sunbird and hummingbird, these are the small birds with long beaks. So their beak is long, like this. such birds with long beak. So because of such presence of long beak, these birds easily suck the nectar from this tubular corolla. Generally, corolla is tubular, long, and from this tubular corolla, corolla is generally tube-like, like this. Corolla is tubular, and for absorbing nectar, the small birds are with long beaks. So long beak is useful to suck the nectar from the such tubular corolla. Generally, flowers are with tubular corolla, and in order to suck the nectar, the small birds are with long beaks. So this long beaks is useful to suck the nectar from such tubular corolla. So corolla is tubular, and from such tubular flower, nectar is sucked with the help of such long beaks. So small birds are involved like hummingbird, sunbird, which are involved in Orienthophilous type of pollination, and these long beaks are useful for sucking the nectar. Flowers are large, showy, and are brightly colored. The flowers secrete a large amount of nectar, that is profuse, dilute nectar. So such a large amount of nectar, profuse dilute nectar is secreted from these flowers. So the flowers secrete large, profuse, dilute nectar. So what do you mean by dilute nectar? So nectar is watery, and such watery nectar is called dilute nectar. So nectar is a sugary secretion, but in Orienthophilous flower, such a nectar is produced in large quantity, that is profuse dilute nectar is produced to attract the birds. So flowers secrete profuse dilute nectar, and it is used as a food for the birds. Next adaptations for Orienthophily, that is pollen grains are sticky and spiny. As the pollen grains are sticky and spiny, they are easily stick to the wings of birds or beaks of birds. Such pollen grains are easily stick to the beak or body of birds, and carried from one flower to another. So pollen grains are sticky and spiny. Another adaptations for Orienthophily, that is flowers are odorless, scentless, or without fragrance. As you know, the birds are with poor sense organ. Birds are with poor sense of smell. So sense of smell in the bird is poorly developed. Means birds shows poor sense of smell. So in the bird's sense of smell is poorly developed. So there is a so the flowers are odorless. So to produce such odor or fragrance, it is useless to attract the such birds without such sense of smell. So birds are with poor sense of smell. So flowers are odorless, scentless, or without fragrance. Next and last adaptations for Orienthophily, that is pollen grains and nectar are produced in abundance, which acts as a food for birds. Such pollen grains acts as a food So large amount of pollen grains and nectar are produced in such flowers where these pollen grains and nectar both are used as a food for birds. So these are some adaptations for Orientophily and full about Entamophily and Orientophily.